Good evening. My name is Kevin Jenkins, and this evening I will be presenting on flow. I have two major objectives. Number one, I want to inform each and every one of you on the neuroscience behind flow. And secondly, I want you to be inspired to induce more flow into your lives. So, we've all heard of runner's high or being in the zone. Well, that is now the flow state, according to top neuro researchers. It is this place where action and awareness merge, time dilates, and we feel and perform our absolute best. So it is this place between anxiety and boredom where we're immensely focused on the present moment. And so why should each one of you be interested in flow? Well, it was found that it increases learning, creativity, as well as productivity. So a recent McKinsey study found that over the past 10 years, top executives in flow were 500% more productive. It is also commonly misunderstood. They think that Olympic athletes or extreme sports enthusiasts are the only ones that can induce flow. However, it's ubiquitous to all of us. And if you were wondering, the answer is yes. I am a flow junkie. I jumped out of planes. I've gone to the North Shore in Hawaii to go surfing. I've gone great lengths to induce more flow into my life. And so, what's happened to help us better understand the neuroscience behind flow? Well, now we have quantified self devices. Probably people in this room right now have smartwatches on, tracking their every move. Advanced neuroimaging technology, and we're decoding the flow genome. And there's been an enhanced feedback loop between the top researchers in the world and those people commonly inducing this flow state. And so what have we found from a neuroscience perspective? Well, it's quite interesting and somewhat ironic. If we look at the neuroanatomy, transient hypofrontality is occurring, which is essentially slowing down the prefrontal cortex. So we're performing better, but the brain itself is actually slowing down. And then, from a neurochemical perspective, norepinephrine or adrenaline is being released. So that's allowing us to take in more information and increase our alertness. Dopamine is connecting the dots with all of that new information we're taking in. Preceding that, we have anandamide. So that's lateral thinking or the connectedness of disparate ideas. And then we have endorphins. So endorphins are those feel-good chemicals. And so essentially, that makes us feel somewhat like Superman. This is an autotelic experience, one of the most addictive states on the planet because of all of these neurochemicals that are released into the brain. And so people will go great lengths to feel this flow state. From a neuroelectrical perspective, this state exists between alpha and theta, but we get these gamma spikes, which are those aha moments, or as entrepreneurs, the big ideas, right? And so how can all of us induce more flow into our lives? Well, remember, flow follows focus. And so there's 17 fundamental triggers that increase flow, and they're categorized into these 4 buckets. The first is psychological, or internal triggers. So what does that mean? It means clear goals, immediate feedback as to how we're doing on those goals, and that optimal challenge to skill ratio that we discussed in the beginning. The next thing is environmental or external triggers. So we need to have a rich environment, deep embodiment, or high consequences, right? So to the average guy like myself, speaking here tonight is high consequences. To a professional surfer, that might be surfing a 50-foot wave. So it's all relative. We also need creativity as well as social or group triggers. So the yes and principle is fundamental to team flow, very common in top management consulting firms as well as top team activities. So we now know that flow follows this cycle: struggle, relaxation, the state flow itself, and then recovery. It used to be thought of as something that was binary. It was either on or off. So now that you have a thorough understanding of what flow is, I encourage all of you to induce more flow into your lives. Find an autotelic challenge, set clear goals with an immediate feedback loop, and please, I encourage all of you to find this state. It's phenomenal. Next week at this time, I'll be surfing some of the best waves in the world in Bali to experience flow. So please email me, kevinjenkinsflow@gmail.com, and tell me about your experiences. Thank you so much.